Welcome everybody to the latest episode of the Shady Mob Podcast with your two favorite Pod Mob stars, Alex the Man Angelov, also known as Double A, your boy King NPV, being joined today by director of the short film The Giant of Kandahar, and a film we're going to be reacting to today, Darth Prayer, a Star Wars fan film directed and created, written by Edward Amaral, and I think also co-produced by Michael Kalub, if I'm not mistaken.
Michael Kalub, yes sir.
Awesome. Gentlemen, how are we doing today? Welcome!
What's up, brothers?
We're doing great, man. We had some, we had a nice little pre-meeting and got some good topics to discuss. But yeah, I'm doing good myself. Definitely chilling. Listen, I like the new setup, man. That's the official new King NPV setup, right there. Look at that.
Actually, it's still under construction right now.
Oh my freaking iPod.
Literally, this is what I had to do. I was able to do on because we got a lot going on. We actually did an interview for Edward's upcoming film, The Giant of Kandahar, with cast and crew members last week at the Hyatt House in Belmont. Shout out to those guys as well for allowing us to take their event space and do the interview. And we're in the process of editing that footage. We're also in the process of just doing more excellent content for you guys. And with that being said, we have a slew of interviews coming your way. Today, we get to actually dive into the mind of Edward and really discover what his art is about and break down one of the films that he shot. How long ago did Darth Prayer come out, Edward?
We shot that in 2016 and
Okay.
released it in 2024.
Oh wow! That film was shot 10 years ago.
It was shot a long time ago.
Damn, in a galaxy far, far away.
Far away. We shot it before. Listen, we shot it before the prequels. No, before not the prequels. Sorry, before the sequels. The new Disney sequels that came out.
Like Force Awakens and all that.
Yeah, we shot it. We shot it before the Force Awakens. Yeah.
That's fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
Alex, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing really good. Definitely excited to pick Edward's brains, and talk about it because we definitely I want to check this out again. I watched it, but I want to talk about it with the director, and I've never done this before. I've never done a reaction / discussion with the director right after watching something.
This is a first for me too. Honestly,
I'm a Star Wars fan. I love, we were just talking about this. I love Star Wars. I got my saber right here. You know what I mean? And
light that baby up, light it up.
I can't wait, man. Because one of the Jedis in there has a green lightsaber, right?
I fucking love it, dude.
But yeah, I'm excited, man. I really am. And what's it called? You guys can find this video on YouTube, and if you have Vimeo as well, go ahead and check it out. We'll put a link in the description.
So the link is already in the description for YouTube alongside Edward's Instagram and YouTube handle, so you guys can go check out his content. Edward, we really do appreciate you for being here and giving us the opportunity to watch one of your films, break it down afterwards with you. And guys, to be completely honest, this is something we're going to be hoping to do more of in the future. Bring a little bit more of the independent film community into your forefront, your eyes, and have a good time. So, Edward, talk to us about this film and what inspired it and why you wanted to get it out.
Well, we were excited about the new Star Wars sequels before when we first learned that Disney had purchased the franchise from George Lucas, and we learned that they were going to cast the original 3 primary stars, and so that is what inspired me to want to make a Star Wars film. Kind of. It goes back a little further, where I had actually come across a clip. I a clip on Facebook, I think, where I just like saw a thumbnail, and it was for a video. It was a Wonder Woman versus Wolverine video, and it was a short movie, but it was super cool, right? And I was like, oh man, like I've been looking to do something. I hadn't made a film for a while, for a long time, and I was like, I want to test my skills. I want to see if I could create and shoot and make an action film. Right? I wanted to shoot action. I wanted to see.
Dude, you
I
did a
never
great
forget
job.
something that Tarantino said. He said, if you could shoot action, you can shoot anything. Right?
That's fucking
And he
dope.
said the hardest thing to shoot is action. And I never forgot him saying that. Right. So when I saw this um, short movie, I said, I got to make an action film. Oh, it's so cool. But I want to make a fight. I want to make a battle scene just like this. But what am I going to do? Right. And then I was like, oh, Star Wars is coming out. So I was like, that's it. I want to make a lightsaber fight. So that I had contacted my buddy Mike Kalu, who is my AD and also co-producer on the movie. And I had known Mike for a long time. We've known each other for 30 plus years at this point. So anyways, I contacted, said, hey man, I got this idea. I want to make a short film. Told him my idea. I want to make a Star Wars lightsaber fight, just an action. So originally, my original idea was not to really make a movie at all. I just wanted to make a lightsaber fight, just to see if I could properly write, direct, and produce just an action scene of just battling, just fighting. Can I do it? Do I have the skill set? Right. That's all. There was no story. I wasn't going to have a story. In fact, my original idea was to shoot in a parking lot. We're just going to go into a parking lot and just use lights from the parking lot, and just shoot it in a parking lot. And I wasn't even going to have costumes. No costumes. Just a couple of, random actors in T-shirts and jeans and just.
Oh, you literally. So for you, you literally didn't even care if it was going to
I didn't
actually
care.
represent Star Wars at all. You just wanted to shoot an action scene in general. It didn't even have to be Star Wars. An action scene in general, in the parking lot, sword fight, choreography, different angles. That's beautiful, dude. And then, okay, continue your story. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, yeah, you got it. You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what it was. And so, um, so then, I as I begin to discuss and talk about so I cast for it on Craigslist, right?
Oh.
And as I begin to get people that are interested in it, and as Mike and I began to discuss it and talk about it, we started to scout out locations, and then we came across a location at a local college. It used to be called Cal State Hayward. I think now it's called East Bay College.
Oh, okay. I know where that is.
Yeah, it's right here in the Bay Area. And it was Mike's idea, so thank you, Mike, because Mike was like, hey, because we already had scouted out a bunch of parking lots. Again, I didn't care, I just wanted a parking lot. And Mike's like, hey, let's go check the college out, because maybe we just couldn't find the perfect parking lot that we wanted. So we went to the college, and lo and behold, there was this most beautiful location for shooting a Star Wars film. It was perfect. It was like meant to be, right? This location looked like it was out of Star Wars. So I was like, fuck, this is awesome, right? So now we had a location that was better than shooting it just at a parking lot. And then it was okay, so let's set up a date, right? And our cast members, as they begin to, we had a number, we went to a number of cast members for the shoot that weren't committed. They would go, they'd show up, they'd do a little bit of choreography, and then we never heard from them again.
Oh, really? So
How unprofessional.
Yeah, they were just,
dabbling in the arts. They weren't actually trying to be they were experimenting.
They were just individuals that just maybe like Star Wars or love Star Wars, and they weren't actors, of course, so they had no skin in the game or desire to really do something or spend the hours and dedication and time to make a movie. So when we start going through the choreography and they realize how difficult it is to do the choreography and how much time and effort it takes to do it, they're like, see ya. They just never got back to us, right?
Oh, they ghosted you. Dang.
Yeah, they just ghosted us. Yeah, so we had And then it got by that time I had created a storyboard and a script, and because as we progressed and I started to come up with ideas for costuming, I was like, oh, I can just use, I had an old gi back when I used to do when I was just a kid. I was like a 13-year-old kid. I had an old gi from when I was a kid. It was a Kaju Kembo gi, which is like a mixture of like British martial arts. But anyway, so it still fit me, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna take the black gi, who's black gi, right? I'm gonna use that as my Sith Lord costuming, and I just threw together. I could put a hoodie underneath it for the hood, and then our new cast member who joined and ended up staying with us, his name was Andy Chen. Shout out to Andy Chen, by the way. Um, he just shows up with this blanket. It was like a silk blanket. And he's like, oh, maybe we can use this like a 8 foot by 8 foot blanket, right? And we can just toss it over my head and make it look like I have like a cloak, and we can just put the hoodie on underneath it. I'm like, oh, awesome, right? And then for Mike's outfit, no, Mike's son Emilio, who ended up playing the Jedi. Mike had an old gi from when he was a kid. He used to do karate, right? Or he used to do Aikido. And he had an Aikido gi, right? So he brings the white Aikido gi. So he had a black gi and a white gi, right? And we used that for the top part of the costuming for the Jedi. And then we just had him wear jeans. So I was like, hey Mike, does Emilio own a pair of tan jeans? Just have him wear a pair of tan jeans to go with that. And then I just brought a pair of some black shoes, some black boots I had. And you're never gonna see like in detail what those boots look like on the film, right? Because it's so dark and shadows, right? We can just cover that up. You're never gonna see it. You'll just look like boots, So we just used boots we had hanging around, and then what I did is I took some gauze and I just spray painted them brown, like wrapping like gauze for like wrapping moons, right? And just wrapped up like their wrists and their ankles with like, their legs with the brown gauze. I spray painted them, and then what else? Oh, I was inspired for the makeup because I love Conan the Barbarian. From back in the 80s, or yeah, in 80s, there was a movie called Conan the Barbarian starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they had the way their face, they had war paint, right? And I always liked that war paint, and so that inspired me to do like the war paint for like the character for the Sith Lord. And then on the day of the shoot, on my way there, I stopped at the thrift store because we needed belts. I was like, we hadn't have belts for these guys. And I went, the first thing I saw, I swear to God, I walked in, there was a table of belts. I'm not joking you. There's like, walk in, big table of belts. And the first one I picked up was the one I used. And actually, the first two I picked up were the two belts I used in the shot, in the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, they were
That
perfect. I was like, oh, yeah. And they're like belts from the 80s, like they're women's belts. And back in the 80s, women wore thick, fat belts that were like 6 inches thick, right?
right, right,
That
right.
was the style back then. And so I just took those and I didn't have to do anything to them. I just used them. I bought three belts from the 80s and from the thrift store. I paid $1 each for each one. I think one I paid 75 cents. And then so here we are. I've got an awesome location, right? I've got costuming now. Oh, what's up?
Oh no, no, nothing.
We're
Keep
good.
going, keep going. Yeah, yeah,
We
you're
got
good, you're
so
good.
now we have a location that
Excellent.
looks like we have a location that looks like Star Wars. We got costuming that looks like Star Wars now, right? Built on shoestring, zero budget, right? Mike's like, oh, hey, I've got a gimbal that I've never used before. Someone gave me a
Ooh.
present, right? So he brings his gimbal, right? And it was a electronic gimbal. You need to charge it in order for it to work, right? It's not just
Hmm.
like a regular gimbal where like it's just like manual and it's like digital, and you have to program it, you have to charge it and shit. And we used iPhone sixes. I mean, think about this. We used iPhone six to shoot this,
At that
and
time, it was high end technology, guys.
it back
2014, bro.
yeah back
2014.
yeah 2020
It was
2016
state of the art.
or
It was a
2014.
state of the art camera work back then.
Yeah, it was. And so we threw that on the gimbal, and I didn't know how to use the gimbal, and neither did Mike. So I was like, you know what? At first, Mike was gonna. So anyway, long story short, so I started using the gimbal. I didn't know how to use it. I taught myself to use it on the fly, basically. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to use this damn thing. And we charged it up, and we did a bunch of choreography. Or not a bunch of choreography. We spent one full day on choreography, right? prior to shooting. So we shot, we choreographed on Saturday or Friday, and then we shot on Saturday. But we're doing this in the evening time, like at 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and so we did choreography like for 4 to 6 hours of choreography on Friday, and then we went and shot on Saturday from like 7 o'clock at night till like 3 in the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that the only time like you guys could go? Because did you guys go guerrilla for this?
Oh yeah. No one knew we were doing it. We were just up there at the colleges shooting.
Oh, okay. So could you? So realistically, could you guys have used the excuse that you're doing a student film, air
Oh
quotes?
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that we could, yeah, we had that in our back pocket for the whole
Okay.
time. And here's what's
Okay.
really cool about the location, guys, is, not only did this location look like Star Wars,
It did.
but it had two openings on the right side and each far side of the location. On the right side and left side of the location, they had hallways or doors, right?
Hmm.
Where you go through these doors, and then one of them had like a break room where we can eat. We can have, cast and crew can eat, right? And then the other side had bathrooms where we can do our makeup and go to the bathroom.
Ooh.
So basically, it was a studio we found because it had bathrooms, it had a place for doing makeup, we had a place for doing eating snacks and doing breaks. We had our own microwave in there, right? We had a
Fucking dope.
refrigerator in there. So it was everything was just set up. It was just like destiny for us to make this film.
So I have another question. So I obviously I don't want to spoil, but when you were shooting this, because it does look like they are in outer space, was that with blue or green screen, or did you just was that in post where you had to go in, crop that area out, and put what you wanted to put in?
Nelson, that was 8 years of post.
Wow, really?
Hmm.
That's why the film didn't come out till 2024.
Yep.
That looks fucking great, dude. And was it because you were kind of doing what James Cameron did with Avatar, waiting for the technology to get better that would allow you to do what you needed to do with your film?
I wish that was the case, Nelson. No, I I waited about. I tried. I reached out to every single professional I could in studio, post production studio can reach out to. Offered them as much as $12,000 to do it. Nobody would take it. They looked at the footage and said, "You know what? You have a dark Sith Lord with all in black, and you have a pitch black background of night right behind him. There's no way we can color separate the colors. There's um there's no way we can find the edges between your Sith Lord and that dark night background that you have there. Um, and there's no trackers that you set up, because they were always like, well, how come we didn't set up trackers? Well, I was a little naive and thinking, oh, we can do it in post. I've seen people do it. I just was naive about I knew. Well, let me state that I knew that I needed the green screen or blue screen, but I was also naive to think, okay, yes, it'd be nice if we had a blue screen. If we would have had like a ladder to pin up all of our sheets, around this location. Because if I had like a staple gun, I could get a ladder and staple these sheets and hang them, drape them, right? But I didn't have a truck to put my ladder in. I didn't have the sheets, and we had the shoot date, right? And I didn't have time to order these green screens or blue screens or to go, find someone with a truck. I didn't have that time that we had to shoot, right? Everyone was set to shoot on this date, and it was like, okay, we don't have that. That would be nice, but I also know that in post, I've seen it done before. We can remove that background. Okay, so that was my thought going in, but um,
So,
you
what
know,
was your process? So, Edward, what
I
was your process in actually separating the background, separating the character, and brightening?
it
If
was
no other like company would do it, how'd you
How did
do that?
you? Were you able to pull that off?
I was able to pull it off myself. Yeah.
No, but how did you do it, boss?
Yeah, how did I do it? Well, let me just say this. I almost quit, right? So I tried to do it myself. I couldn't do it, and I quit. I quit for 2 years. I didn't do anything for 2 years. I just let it sit. And I wasn't going to ever touch it again. I was just going to say, okay, that's it. I failed. We failed. It's not going to work. And then one day I was like, okay, now that I'm done stressing over it and it's been behind me and I've got time on my hands, I'm going to just take one, like, 5-second clip, right? The hardest one. And I'm going to just sit down and just outline, just zoom in as far as I can zoom in. I'm going to create a contrast with the lighting, with just like with a geometry color, and just up the lighting, right? And then on one clip, and maybe, or actually just find a clip and just try to change the lighting as much as possible, right? So I can see the edges. And then I just very slowly zoomed in, just outlined every single hair, every single bump of the lump and bump and fold of the clothes, using the pen tool, just going click, drag, around every single frame, with each frame having 2 characters, each frame having lightsabers, each frame having backgrounds, and I had to basically cut out each character for like, I don't know, 24 times 24 frames per second for 4 seconds. Let's say 100 frames. But, you know.
That's
and just, you know.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it moves, right? So you hit move, and then it moves, and you got to move each dot that you set up on there on the edges. And I finished it, and I was like, okay, I finished 4 seconds. How long is it going to take me to finish 8 minutes of this shit? So then I looked at the 8 minutes. I said, okay, I've got about 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes of this I got to do. How long is it going to take me? I calculated it, and it was about 7-8 years. Yeah.
Damn, dude. But you got it. You got it, and in 2024, this film was released, ladies and gentlemen. And actually, we're going to take a brief ad break, and when we come back, we're going to actually watch the film and break it down with director Edward Amaral, who's here with us today. We'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome to Shady Mob Productions, where the vibes are always right and the passion runs deep.
Step into the sports network of N1 from the End Zone. Sit down for unfiltered conversations on Port City Uncensored. And surf the sound waves with Sonic Waves.
Different worlds, different shows. Click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it. Guys, if you're into sports, wrestling, or just need some positivity and motivation, check out N1 from the End Zone and click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.
If you're in the San Francisco Bay Area and want the best cut of your life, go check out Headspin's Barbershop, located in South San Francisco, the official barbershop of N1 from the End Zone.
Port City Uncensored. Real talk, real people, minus the trolls. Join us Thursdays at 8 on YouTube, X, and Facebook. From the streets to City Hall, you never know who'll show up or what they'll say next.
Listen up, dog owners. Every month, BarkBox delivers 2 brand new toys that will make your dog lose their mind, plus 2 full-size bags of treats so healthy you'll be tempted to steal one yourself. Trusted by over 8 million dogs who have literally never written a bad review. We're talking fully customized, tiny terror toys for Chihuahuas, indestructible beasts for your Rottie, allergy-friendly snacks for the drama queens with sensitive tummies. Even extra subscriber-only goodies if you want to go full spoiled. Right now, new subscribers get a free extra toy in every box for a whole year, and shipping is forever free. So stop letting your dog down and click the link in the description or scan that beautiful QR code and get your first BarkBox today. BarkBox, because your dog deserves better.
Guys, you're watching the Shady Mob Podcast. This is where we discuss our favorite movies, TV shows, and where we talk about life. Please like, comment, and subscribe so you can be notified when the latest content drops.